key piece of information going into this study is that we're going to work in the key of G, but by all means, please go through your circle of fifths, apply this exercise in all your various keys in the 12 keys. At 50 beats per minute, I've tabbed it out as well, so you feel free to pause and just study the fingering and the tabs. And hopefully it's a video as well that you can keep coming back to as well. It's just one of these things you can add into your practice repertoire and keep coming back to at will. So the premise is, just so you can get an idea of what the actual study looks like, is we're going to take each of the positions. So for example, position 1 in the key of G major, i.e. Ionian, I like to call it Ionian, so I've got a bit of a modal sense of what's going on here. The idea is we're going to take our note from the scale, from the sequence, skip the next note along in the sequence, and then play the one after. So for example, the 3rd fret on the E string, we will skip the 5th fret on the E string and we will play the 2nd fret on the A string. Similarly, as we move along, we've now got the 5th fret on the A string to play, but we're going to skip the next one that should come along in the sequence, stepwise motion. We're going to skip the 2nd fret of the A string and go straight to the 5th fret of A and play them together as a double stop. So we've got, to begin with, if we carry that sequence through, that idea through, the next pairing would be 2 of the A string and 2 of the D string. We've simply skipped the 5th of the A string. Position 1, aka Ionian. 1, 2, 3, 4. Position 2, Dorian. 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, position 3, Phrygian. 2 and 3 and 4 and. Position 4, Mixolydian. And 2 and 3 and 4 and. Finally, everybody's favorite, position 5, Aeolian. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Ways to kind of take this further and develop it. Obvious ones would be play through your circle of fifths, transpose it, play it in the various keys, change up your BPM, but also change up the subdivide as well, which is another very useful and applicable thing to work on. So for example, just as a quick one here, rather than playing 8s like we were there, so 1 and 2 and, you could do 16s, for example. So you can go 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 da, 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 da. So you're kind of playing around with your various subdivides, and again, that's a cool way of just rejuvenating and reinvigorating the idea. And then another thing to throw in there, add in your right hand palm mute as well. So especially if you're playing over that 16th divide. So yeah, it becomes much more of a percussive thing. It's got that percussive angle, and then yeah, it's just up to you really to find your own voice and your own angle with that idea. But please do comment. Feel free to comment in the section below in terms of how you would maybe dismantle and apply a technique, a study like that in a practical sense. So yeah, as always, I hope you got something out of that, and yeah, happy plucking.